Okay, good evening. I would like to call to order the City of Lake Forest School District 67 Board of Education organizational meeting for May 2nd, 2023. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Chun,
Aye.
Mr. Carrar,
Here.
Ms. Levert,
Here.
Ms. Mason,
Here.
Ms. Sands,
Here.
Ms. Bernal,
Here.
Ms. Helms. We have a quorum.
I'd just like to share Ms. Helms is on her way. I would now ask all members of the board, administration, and community to stand at attention facing the flag with your right hand over your heart to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. So first up, I just have a few things to say, not very many. It has been an honor to serve our community on the District 67 School Board. We have been through a lot over the past 8 years, and while I look forward to my next chapter, I will genuinely miss being a part of this team as they embark on the amazing work ahead. From my lens at the board table, as a parent, as a volunteer, and as a former educator, I can confidently say that everyone in our district approaches their work with the goal of doing right by students, serving our community with integrity, and contributing to making our schools outstanding places for kids to learn and grow. Understanding that we each see the world through the lens of our own experiences, I choose to believe that our parents, staff, and administrators are functioning with positive intent at all times. At times, we will disagree about the best path forward, but still must find a way forward together. I would like to express my deepest respect, admiration, and gratitude for each and every member of the District 67 team. The children of our community have had so many opportunities to thrive in your care over the years, and I am confident they will continue to do so. Thank you for giving of yourselves so deeply to this important work. Finally, I'd like to share my deep appreciation for my fellow board members, those who were here before, those rolling off with me, those who are staying, and those who are joining the board this evening. Being a school board member is both challenging and rewarding. I hope it will give each of you the opportunity to continue to learn and grow, and I wish you all the best in the years to come. Thank you. At this point, the board will now offer the opportunity for public comment. Members of the public may use this time to address the board. Tiana, our board clerk, will be timing public participation and will advise you when you have reached your 3 minutes. Are there any members of the public who would like to address the board?
Good evening. Jennifer.
So for anyone else who speaks, don't touch the mic. Okay. Jordan has it set for you.
In the best of times, serving as a member of the board is a difficult, time-consuming, and thankless role. In COVID times, that role was brutal. So I wanted to say thank you for your service, your dedication, and your hard work to the children of Lake Forest and to our community. In particular, I wanted to share a few words about Rich and Suzanne. Rich, I enjoyed very much we were able to share together over the past few years, and I appreciate your thoughtful commentary on issues impacting both boards, including shared services. Your analytical abilities and collegiality served us extremely well during our discussion of matters related to hiring a superintendent and issues around shared services, and I think those skills helped us to come to reasoned consensus as a group. Going forward, I look forward to your insights on those issues and others impacting our schools. Thanks again for your thoughtful and dedicated service. Suzanne, I wanted to express my great thanks for your leadership during a difficult period for both our boards and for your deep understanding of so many important issues facing our boards, our schools, and our administration. As your counterpart on the District 115 board, I've had the good fortune to manage the superintendent evaluation process with you. From the start, I've relied on your expertise, technical skills, and thoughtful counsel. Your thoughtful consideration of so many difficult and important questions there made my work so much easier. As a board, one of the most important roles that we face is the evaluation of our superintendent. In the years preceding your takeover of that role on District 67, I know that it was a job and a process that our boards were not doing very well. There was no consistency to the process, and the evaluations hinged more on individual members' relationships with their superintendent, good or bad, rather than a thoughtful evaluation of the facts. Your work with Diana Kryling and a few other members of those boards changed our oversight in a comprehensive way and produced a process that I think will serve us well for years to come. As great a contribution as that work has been on the annual evaluation of the superintendent's performance, I think that your leadership of the superintendent selection process was even more critical to our joint success. Given your work on the True North board when it searched for new leadership, you had an immediate understanding of the work that we needed to do in our search, and you recommended strongly and forcefully that we should bring in an outside search firm to assist us in our work finding and evaluating strong candidates. The timing of Mike Simick's departure was difficult, and it put our search in a tough spot in that we were a bit behind other districts going to market and looking for candidates. The organizational and leadership skills and the incredible hard work that you and Jenny brought to bear at that key moment in time produced a fantastic outcome for our boards. We narrowed our selection down to a few outstanding candidates, and you and Jenny led that process ably the entire way. To paraphrase my colleague Sally Davis, it was a masterclass in organizational leadership that you and Jenny led us through, and we were so much better off as a result. Managing through the pandemic was a pain in the neck. Managing through the pandemic with an interim superintendent was even harder. The fantastic work that you and Jenny did enabled us to identify, interview, and select a candidate from outside Illinois that no one on the board had met before we started. As a result of that fantastic process and hire, we've made incredible progress over the past 3 years. Thanks so much for your leadership and counsel, Suzanne. On behalf of the entire community, I offer an enormous thank you for your years of hard work and exceptional service, and in particular for the many critical accomplishments that both boards achieved because of your incredible leadership and deep understanding of the issues facing our boards, our schools, and our community. Thank you.
I would like to begin by thanking all of you for your service to District 67 and the community of Lake Forest. Tonight, there are 3 of you who will have completed your terms, and I wanted to be here to say a special thank you, specifically to Suzanne Sands, Rich Chun, and Jennifer Mason Merrick. Jennifer, you were gracious to step in and fulfill the term of a board member whose circumstances changed, requiring him to step down before tonight. Thank you for your willingness to fill that need for this board and this community when that situation arose. Rich, you and I met in 2018 on the stage at Gorton when we were initially being endorsed by the caucus to serve on our 2 boards. Since then, I have had the pleasure of watching you serve and seeing your impact as you helped this board and partnered with the District 115 board through so much meaningful work over the last 4 years. And President Sands, Suzanne, I couldn't let your term, or to be more exact, your terms, on the District 67 Board of Education end without being here to personally express 2 words that will always make me think of you: gratitude and appreciation. Before joining the District 115 Board of Education, I volunteered alongside you on the Lake Forest High School Foundation Board, where you have continued to provide such advancement and growth, resulting in numerous improvements that benefit our students in immeasurable ways. Over the last 4 years, I have been made aware of your incredible contributions to True North, where your service touches and benefits countless students from many North Shore communities. I want you to know how personally grateful I am for the opportunities I have had to partner with you and work for our 2 school districts. Over the last 4 years, I was fortunate to work very closely with you on several occasions. We worked on efforts to ensure that shared services was truly the best model for our districts, our communities, our students, and our staff. We co-chaired the superintendent search for our 2 boards, which led to the successful hiring of Dr. Montgomery, and we worked very closely with our members to secure his continued leadership. So as you leave your role as a District 67 Board of Education member, know that you leave so much behind that was made possible because of you. I was a witness to your passion for education, your commitment to serving others, your love for your community, and your belief in doing what is right, even in the most difficult of times and circumstances. You have given this community and its schools the gift of that time, talent, compassion, and energy that is you. I hope when you look back on your years of service as a school board member, you will see many individuals who, like me, feel tremendous gratitude and appreciation for all that you gave. Suzanne, Rich, and Jennifer, thank you and best of luck to all of you.
Hi, my name is Martha Zeman, and I want to first thank all of the board members for your continued dedication and leadership. Our community is truly grateful to all of you. In particular, I wanted to say something about Suzanne tonight. I've had the pleasure of working with you for a long, long time, Spirit of 67. I don't know if any of you play the name game in your family, that thing where you have first letter or second letter, but Suzanne Sands is the one we use in our family because it reverses. And we think of all sorts of great words. We can think about you like spectacular, superb, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. But when I really thought about it, I just chose simply and simply superb because you are a simply straightforward leader who leads with candor, without ambiguity, without unnecessary embellishment, and you lead with a superb style of authentic, dependable leadership that is very rare in this world today. Your dedication to our community has not gone unnoticed by people here or by parents and even students. And our family is truly grateful for everything you have done, both in 67 and in 115 and in our greater community at large. So thank you for everything.
Good evening. I also want to take a minute to express my gratitude to the departing board members for your dedicated service to Lake Forest. All 3 of you have sacrificed time away from family, from work or other commitments to improve our schools and help Lake Forest kids have the best possible education. Below are a couple of the things that I take away from getting to know and work with all of you. Rich, thank you for your commitment to the board, and in particular, the energy and enthusiasm that you brought as chair of the policy committee. It takes a very unique person to bring enthusiasm to policy, and lucky for us, you are that unique person. Our district was better because the exacting detail that you brought to every policy decision and press update. But what stands out most is that you never lost sight of the real goal of board policy, or really any board vote for that matter, which was having a positive impact on kids' education. You always made that the center of your board work and debate. And in addition, the enthusiasm that you brought to policy and your board service, it was contagious. Your energy built camaraderie across the board, helping people laugh even in some very challenging situations. You always brought positive intent, and most importantly, you always showed up for all of those meetings that we had. Thank you. Suzanne, Congratulations on an incredibly impactful 8 years of board service. The number of leadership roles and contributions you've made in that time are too many to mention. Hopefully there's a board resolution that attempts to do so, and Jenny and Dewey and others hopefully have shared some of the small number of important contributions that you've made. But I don't think there's likely anyone else in Lake Forest that has given more generously of their time and talents in volunteer service to Lake Forest education than you. As a colleague, I appreciate your empathy and understanding for the challenges of teachers and administrators, the passion that you brought to board service, and I was in awe of how quickly you could reply to the many, many emails we received. And Jennifer, thank you for this year of being on the board. The board has a steep learning curve, one that you've had to accelerate. It's impressive how quickly you've come up to speed. And I've heard from many that you've been a significant upgrade over your predecessor. Thank you for your service. And lastly, I want to congratulate Megan, Monica, and Mark on your election. I was incredibly excited when I saw your names announced as candidates. Serving on the board is an important role. The community has put its trust in your judgment. Thank you for wanting to give back in this way, stepping up to guide the district. Thank you and congratulations to everyone.
Good evening, I'm Kurt Schneider. I'm superintendent at True North, and I wanted to say a few words to Suzanne and make sure that every one of you understood the commentary that happened on our board a couple of weeks ago. We start off with a quote, and so I wanted to share a quote that I shared last week. A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go but ought to be. Rosalind Carter, former First Lady of the United States. As I shared at our most recent True North meeting last week, I think this quote sums up her 8 years of Leadership Council experience, 6 years as my president and our president. As a relatively new superintendent, I could not have asked for a smarter, more hardworking, true mentor and colleague these past 7 years. She's passionate about diversity and advocating on behalf of all student groups. And she understands that systemic inequities are often produced and need to be questioned in order to create more expansive opportunities for those being prevented from living their most authentic and enviable lives. Under her leadership, she has guided and supported me in having the confidence to lead this transformative work, even during the most challenging times. When I accepted the position in 2016, I intellectually knew the challenge ahead, but did not have a fully understanding of the emotional impact it would have. Having a president to completely have these authentic conversations with about all different student groups was a gift beyond words. While this change has certainly aged me, it has at the same time given me the professional experience I needed to continue to build my career. We created a top 10 list for Suzanne of accomplishments in her 8 years on the True North board. 1, we built a mission and vision of the organization centered around diversity, equity, and inclusive practices. 2, we've collectively bargained multiple licensed and teacher assistant contracts, resulting in our ability to retain and train teacher assistants. 3, we revamped a professional learning framework and offerings that are now driven by the membership at large. 4, policy committee work. We authored a completely aligned policy manual to the mission and vision of the organization, so I think the two of you might have a lot in common. 5, we developed a whole new financial model for all 18 school districts. We purchased a new building and saving membership about $2 million. We even renamed the organization at large to align to the mission and vision of the organization. We've engaged the board and board members in national and state learning and implemented new Leadership Council orientations, of which she has graciously agreed to continue serving to help us train new members through the summer. 9, we've navigated a pandemic across 18 school districts and 2 county health departments, which was no easy task. And 10, and most importantly, with Lake Forest school districts together leading the way, we have increased opportunities for students with disabilities across the region to now spend over 72% of their school day with their non-disabled peers. And that's a 6-year trending increase from below state average. And at the same time, we've increased paid employment opportunities in all home school district communities. Throughout each of these areas, she has led strategic conversations, problem solved, and never shied away from the mission and vision of the work. She's a role model for all of us in keeping at the forefront the lives of students and families. And most importantly, as her graduation talk often references Winnie the Pooh, as Winnie the Pooh likes to say, she has become a friend and one of those few trusted people you call at those most critical times. And so we are all better for your service. All 54 schools, all 37,000 students have been better prepped because of your experience and your time. So thank you. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see you, and thank you so much to everyone on this board. Jennifer, I'd like to start with you. I know you more as an Everett mom, and I remember the first day we walked into the APT meeting, and I thought you were your sister. They are triplets, so thank you for your service. It is no easy task to give of your time and your dedication, so thank you, and best of luck to you with that. And then also, Rich, I'd like to thank you as well. I'll never forget the first time I met you. I thought you had the best bow ties, and I remember giving you a tour of Everett, and one of the first things that stood out for me was the questions that you asked, the thoughtful questions, the deep questions, always just checking in and making sure that you had all of the answers before you proceeded. So thank you for that, and also for all the levity that you brought, especially during the pandemic. I know that it wasn't an easy time, but you always made us laugh, and you even respond to my newsletters about bad 90s pop stars, so thank you. Suzanne, thank you so much for everything. You and I think Jeff Folker were the first board members that I ever had as an administrator, so you will always be seared into my memory, and I can't thank you enough for the support that you gave me and that the nervousness I still feel coming up to this microphone. I didn't have to push the button tonight. But the way that you would look at me always with support and a smile, and you would always make me feel like what I was saying wasn't crazy. And so I so appreciate that. And the sensibility that you brought to all of us during the pandemic, those late night board meetings, you not only gained my respect as a mother, as a community member, and as a board meeting, but you gained the biggest fan in the world, and you know who that is, and that is Barb, my mom. So I am not sure what my mom is going to do on Tuesday nights. She likes you too, Dr. McHugh. You're all right. But thank you for your service. We are all better leaders and a better community because of you. Thank you.
Okay, I didn't write anything because I would just cry, and I didn't have enough pages to talk about all of the things I've known about, especially Rich and Suzanne. I've had the pleasure of knowing you before you were on the board of 67 as a school principal. And Rich levity is definitely it, coming in, being super supportive, and always had a joke or two to tell at any meeting. And Suzanne was my APT president, I think starting in 2012. Suzanne, I had to go back a few years. I pulled out all the directories with Julia. And Suzanne whipped our APT into shape that it just needed a whole reboot. And from there, I think everything that you've laid the foundation at Sheridan still exists. And then Jennifer, for joining the board, thank you for the past year. And I've gotten to know you a little bit in committee meetings. But I want to say one thing that I don't think anybody has recognized yet. I won't go into all the other things. But Matt and Kristen, the families behind these board members. I'm sorry, Jennifer, I don't know if your spouse is here, but if they are, or if they're not, thank you too. The amount of time that the family gives, whether you're serving on the board, whether you're an APT president, whether you're just involved in school, is unbelievable. I got to know Matt through many hours at Sheridan, and Kristen has been at Sheridan a lot and just supportive of the district too. So I want to say thank you to you and to all of your families for supporting our schools, supporting our administrative team. And I'm not going to talk about COVID because It gave me PTSD, but sincerely to all of you that led us through that. I think that was the latest memory of adversity. That's the word. So thank you, and I wish you luck on your next adventures, whatever that might be, and hope to still see you around our district. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jeff Folker. I live at 1661 Milburn Road. I think I'm supposed to say that, all right? So I wanted to be here tonight to officially thank our retiring board members, thank all of you, without a doubt, but specifically our 3 retiring board members for all of your time, your service, your passion, your dedication, your commitment, and frankly, your leadership over the last year, 4 years, 8 years, particularly through difficult times. But you have kept, if I may steal from another district, a true north guiding star for this district, and you have worked to continuously improve our schools and our culture for the students, the parents, the taxpayers, and the staff and the teachers. So I want to thank you all for that. I must say, I'm excited to hear that, Rich, you kept policy at the forefront of this board in this community. And I also want to thank you for continuing to work on the policies and procedures manuals. I'm glad to see that hasn't gone by the wayside. So thank you. It was a pleasure working with you for 2 years, and best of luck. Suzanne, I had the honor and the privilege of working with you for 6 years. And I must say, I was starting to getting a little nervous in the sense that you seem to follow me around a lot. You know, you wanted to become an APT president. Okay. Then you got elected to the board. That's great. Then you're chair of the education committee. That's wonderful. Then, God love you take on chairmanship of the Lake Forest High School Foundation. My only request now is you don't go into real estate.
No worries.
Okay,
It is not
good.
my deal.
Because the thing is, every time you've followed, you've improved. And you've done such a wonderful, wonderful job over the 8 years through very difficult times. I want to say that I always valued your input. I always wanted to hear your perspective, particularly as someone who is an educator and has a history in education. You brought an insight to the board that was extremely valuable, extremely unique at the time that we were there. And the other thing I want to thank you, and Rich too, is you guys showed up. And one of the things, as Michelle mentioned, the time that is required of you all, as you all know, to do this job and to do it well requires a level of commitment and time that I don't think the community truly appreciates nor understands. So I want to thank you all for giving of yourselves and giving of your time, and your families too. But that to me is one of the most important and most valuable elements of being on this board, is to show that commitment and prioritize it for the community and for our children. So thank you all very much. Suzanne, thank you. Rich, thank you. Jennifer, thank you as well. And we'll see you at the reception.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Desiree Whitty, and I wanted to thank everybody in the room, of course, the board, but everybody here, because we see the same people again and again and again. They're always at any opportunity to volunteer, and it does take a lot of extra hours, and our community is better as a result. So thank you very much for all that everyone in this room does, administration, everyone. Thank you. But I am here to give a couple kind words towards Suzanne, because I have followed her through the district, although I did start in real estate, so we'll just swap. Anyhow, I wanted to share a few words with you, starting with the idea that if you want to be in the room where it happens, sidle up to that woman, Suzanne Sands, because she is sensational and she makes it happen. I wanted to thank you for your years of service in both District 67 and 115. You've always embraced big roles on every board. You ask for input from your team and then attack challenges, streamline inefficiencies, improve communication, leaving the board and schools in better shape than when you started. Thank you for your fearless leadership and transparent decision-making. It has always been a pleasure working with you. Gratefully yours.
I'm gonna have to take off my glasses because either I look at you or I look at my words, so I can't see you whether you're frowning or smiling. My name is Pam Hens. I'm a parent of a child in 67. It was 20 years ago when I met Suzanne Sands at a Lamaze class at Lake Forest Hospital. I believe fate had a hand in introducing us, and since those early breathing classes, there hasn't been a single day I haven't felt blessed to call Suzanne my friend and trusted advisor, an honest advisor, even when I didn't and don't want to hear the truth. As others have already mentioned, and some of you might know or some might not, Suzanne has had an extraordinary record as a dedicated volunteer in our school community. Some of her many job titles include room parent and volunteer, APT representative, APT vice president, treasurer, APT president, Spirit of 67 Vice President of Donor Relations, Spirit of 67 VP of Communications, District 67 Board of Education Vice President, District 67 Board of Education President. Many years, many titles, many more things. I personally turned to Suzanne in her role as teacher when my youngest was born with disabilities. Having no previous experience in that world, I sincerely wondered if my son would be able to attend school. Suzanne immediately put the kibosh on that type of thinking and helped me start my school journey as a parent with a child with disabilities. She's one of the most prolific and effective advocates for students I know. Behind the scenes is where Suzanne does most of her work. Imagine that. We all know and see so much of what she does. Now imagine there is more, much more, all behind the scenes, all quietly accomplished without need or want of recognition. I might get in trouble for saying this, and I might be a bit biased, but I believe Suzanne Sands has been the finest volunteer Lake Forest District 67 and 115 has ever seen. I hope her time involved in all her different roles inspires others to follow her lead, to chase after her accomplishments, because only when we care as much as Suzanne does for our school children can we make a lasting impact in our community. I'm reminded of George Bailey from the movie It's a Wonderful Life when thinking of my friend Suzanne. Specifically, I'm struck with a thought. I wonder what things would have been like in our schools if Suzanne had never been a part of the process. I'm grateful we will never know. I hope she knows how grateful we are. I'm not worried we won't see Suzanne again, out and about doing her thing, working her magic, helping all students succeed, helping all parents help their children. She can't help herself. It's in her DNA to make this world a better place. And boy, are we lucky that Suzanne is Suzanne. I'll conclude with a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. "The reward of a thing well done is to have done it. Suzanne, you did it. Well done."
Sure, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alice Levert. I just want to say thank you to the 3 board members signing off tonight, starting with Jennifer. Jennifer, although it's been a short term, you've made a significant impact. Thank you for taking on the role as a District 67 school board member. Thank you for representing our community. Thank you for the time and energy you gave while serving on this board. I'm so glad we had a chance to work together, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for everything. Rich. Oh, I have you, among others, to thank for becoming a board member over 6 years ago. And then I had the pleasure of serving with you on the board for the last 4 years. It's been a wonderful 4 years together. Your sense of purpose and commitment have left us all in a better place, and your humor was a gift that was much needed and provided many smiles. Thank you for your service to the board, the children, the families in our community. Your predecessor, Jeff Folker, left the policy committee in good hands with you as the chairman. It's been a pleasure to serve with you, and you will certainly be missed. Wishing you all the best, and thank you. And Suzanne, you've committed 8 years of your life to this District 67 school board. Simply amazing. I've shared 6 of those 8 years with you and have watched your dedication, ideas, and super hard work. There have been happy days and really tough days together, but you never gave up on the greater good for the district, the children, and our community. It's really been an honor to serve with you. Although we did not always land on the same side of decisions, I always respected your point of view and your passion. I wish you all the best, and I thank you very much.
If I could, just want to say thank you to the 3 of you departing, and welcome to the new 3 coming on. It's going to be wonderful. But for Jen, when we interviewed you last summer, there's a reason why we picked you, and you haven't disappointed one bit. So thank you for your service here. I know it's been difficult, and even for us trying to describe the difficulties that come with this position, it definitely lived up to that. So thank you. Suzanne, your expertise and your experience and your passion were, I think, really critical in the past year for leading us through the challenges that we've had. So thank you for everything that you've done for the community and for the school district. And Rich, thank you so much for asking one of the most difficult questions in an interview I've ever had of what my legacy might be. I can only hope to live up to yours. So thank you for your friendship and the guidance that you've had for the last 3 years. And as we like to say in the Navy, fair winds and following seas, and I look forward to seeing you down the road, and welcome aboard to the new 3.
All right.
Hold on.
Oh,
May I?
ouch.
Well, I'm not on the agenda, so I don't know if when I'm May I say a few words?
You may, sir.
I will not be long-winded, I promise. And I didn't run anything by Melissa, so we'll see how this goes. I promise I'll behave. I'm just talking from the heart. So 3 words come to mind. There's 3 board members that are leaving us. The first one is service. And I think of Jennifer when I come up with the word service, because you came forward and volunteered in a time where you had to catch up quickly, you had to make decisions that you didn't have all the history with, and you signed up to do good for this community, and I thank you for being here, because not many people wanted to do what you did and give up the time that you did, and we are forever grateful for that. Second word is for Rich, and that is joy. As a trusted colleague and hopefully friend, you have brought expertise to all of the areas in which were shared tonight, but the word that I think that described you the most is joy. You have brought joy to the 7 of us and many other, and I will miss that joy, and hopefully we'll see it at Gino's, among other places. We have the same barber, he's amazing. I think Justin has the same barber too. Like, this is not an advertisement for Gino, although he's amazing. The third word is gratitude, and that goes for Suzanne. I think that is her word. I will say that when I interviewed, it was April 1st, coincidentally, when I came out for the in-person interview. It was a Thursday, and there was all 14 of the board members together. I had a wonderful experience, and I came home to the hotel, not Mattawa, how do you say it appropriately? Mateowa, I can't.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Mattawa?
I was at the Hilton over there, and my wife, I called my wife, and she goes, we were joking, and she goes, they haven't called you yet to offer the job? Like, she was just provoking me. If you know my wife, she makes me such a more wonderful person, because I'm really not that great without her. But she was joking with me, they haven't called yet, and I hung up with her, and the phone rang, and it was Jenny and Suzanne. And they called and offered me the position, and my heart just was exploding with joy. And I will never forget that moment when the 2 of you called me, because it started a new journey, a new chapter in my life. I'm reminded of a cartoon. I actually talked about this last week. I had the pleasure of being a superintendent. My first superintendent was where I graduated. And I had a teacher who retired, who I had as a student. And she retired after 35 years of service. And she gave me a cartoon. And it makes me think of this moment. And the cartoon is a Peanuts cartoon, and it's Snoopy. And the frame shows Snoopy looking up at the first frame, and he sees a leaf falling. And in each frame, he's dancing with the leaf in the most simple way, just dancing with enthusiasm, with love, and with passion. And at the end, he bows to the leaf as it falls to the ground. And he says simply, "Thank you for the dance." So to you, Mrs. Sands, thank you for the dance. Thank you for being a champion for students and for children. There are not enough champions in the world, and you should be celebrated for that.
I was going to keep my remarks to the end, but I think I'm going to go now since we're piling on the accolades. And first of all, let me just apologize for missing even 1 second of this wonderful meeting. I had a perfect storm of a husband on an airplane, a babysitter with a broken down car, and children stranded on 41. So I made it here. I apologize for being late. I want to share my own personal words of gratitude. First to Jennifer, I think we all agree you raised your hand when we had a vacancy to fill on this board, and that is a true example of public service. You rolled up your sleeves, you got up to speed so fast, and we're always willing to share your perspectives. Thank you very much. We'll miss you. Mr. Chun, our policy committee chair extraordinaire is how I think of you. Thank you for being so welcoming and kind to me when I first joined the board, and for your patient approach. The board will just not be the same without your sense of humor, and there is no one who can deliver a Spirit of 67 report like you can. And then what do I say about Ms. Suzanne Sands? To say that your commitment and your love for our schools runs deep is a massive understatement. The time that you have devoted to making our schools a better place for all students and staff has been extraordinary. I truly appreciate your friendship, your mentorship, and your support. You will be missed. And to our new board members, you should know that you are joining a fantastic group of volunteers who are here like you because they truly care about our schools and our community. They share a deep respect for one another and for all of the teachers, administrators, and staff who have devoted their careers to educating our children. This is a board that works hard, challenges one another, but always with civility and an open mind. It is a joy to serve in a group where everyone is working collectively toward the same goal of having excellence in our schools. I'm very proud to be a part of this group, and I really look forward to working with you going forward.
Okay, so now we get to the fun. Next up is the acknowledgement of receipt of Lake County election results. The City of Lake Forest District 67 Board of Education acknowledges the receipt of the certified election results from the County Clerk of Lake County, Illinois, for the Board of Education elections. Based on these results, 3 candidates shall be seated with 4-year terms: Megan Engelberg, Mark Remus, and Monica Youn. The oath of office for newly elected school board members. So we will now do that. I think the 3 of you are going to come up to the podium and say the oath together in just a moment. So may I ask Megan, Mark, and Monica to stand and read together and say their names separately. Come on up. You can stand at the microphone. Thank you. And you have your script, yes? Okay, so you can say I, and then each person say their name, and then say the rest together, like a shared reading, if you will.
I, Megan Engelberg. I, Monica Youn.
I, Mark Remus. do solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education of the City of Lake Forest School District 67 in accordance with the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and the laws of the State of Illinois, to the best of my ability. I further swear that I shall respect taxpayer interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets. I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek a hearing before the board, while respecting the privacy of students and employees. I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual, and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting. And I shall abide by majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels. As part of the Board of Education, I shall accept the responsibility for my role in the equitable and quality education of every student in the school district. I shall foster with the board extensive participation of the community, formulate goals, define outcomes, and set the course for Lake Forest School District 67. I shall assist in establishing a structure and an environment designed to ensure all students have the opportunity to attain their maximum potential through a sound organizational framework. I shall strive to ensure continuous assessment of student achievement and all conditions affecting the education of our children in compliance with state law. I shall serve as education's key advocate on behalf of students and our community schools to advance the vision for Lake Forest School District 67. And I shall strive to work together with the district superintendent to lead the school district toward fulfilling the vision the board has created, fostering excellence for every student in the areas of academic skills, knowledge, citizenship, and personal development.
Great, thank you, everyone. As Vice President, I have the pleasure of helping us elect the next president of the School District 67 Board. May I have a nomination for the office of President of the District 67 Board of Education?
Yes, I would like to nominate Annie Helms-Gary.
May I have a second?
Second.
I have a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Levert?
Aye.
Ms. Helms?
Aye.
Ms. Yan? Ms. Yan?
Aye.
Mr. Carrar?
Aye.
Ms. Engelberg?
Aye.
Ms. Bernal?
Aye.
Mr. Remus?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, everybody. I will just say two things. One, I'm so incredibly honored to hold this role, and I appreciate you all entrusting me with this responsibility. And two, there is no way I'm going to fill Suzanne Sands' shoes. So with that, may I have a nomination for the office of Vice President of the District 67 Board of Education?
Yes, I would like to nominate Alice Levert.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Carrar?
Aye.
Ms. Bernal?
Aye.
Mr. Remus?
Aye.
Ms. Engelberg?
Aye.
Ms. Levert?
Aye.
Ms. Helms?
Aye.
Ms. Yan?
Aye.
Motion carries.
May I have a nomination for the office of Secretary of the District 67 School Board of Education?
I would like to nominate Emily Bernal, please.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Helms,
Aye.
Mr. Carrar,
Aye.
Ms. Engelberg,
Aye.
Ms. Yan,
Aye.
Ms. Bernal,
Aye.
Mr. Remus,
Aye.
Ms. Lord,
Aye.
motion carries.
In accordance with Board Policy 2150, the following members will be appointed to the following committees for 2023 through 2025. For the Finance Committee, I nominate Carl Carrar as chair, as well as Alice Livert and Monica Yan. On the Education Committee, I nominate Monica Yan as chair, Carl Carrar and Megan Engelberg. On the Policy Committee, I'm nominating myself as chair, or I'm appointing myself as chair, Mark Remus and Emily Bernal. I'm also asking Emily Bernal to serve as our True North liaison, Mark Remus as our legislative liaison, Megan Engelberg as our Spirit of 67 liaison, and Monica Yan as our APT liaison. Thank you, everyone. Okay, moving on to action items. I am going to read resolutions for each of our departing board members. First, with regard to Jennifer Mason Merrick, do I need a motion here, Tiana, or to approve, or they come at the end?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. At the end, after you've read them all, then you ask for a motion.
Okay. Back to Jennifer. Whereas Ms. Jennifer Mason has faithfully served the students, staff, and families of Lake Forest School District 67 as a board member from 2022 to 23. Whereas Ms. Mason has served as a member of the Education Committee from 2022 to 2023. Whereas Ms. Mason has served as a dedicated liaison to the District 67 Association of Parents and Teachers Executive Board, sharing news and celebrating our community through fostering cooperative working relationships, promoting communication within the school community, and enhancing the education and enrichment of our children. Whereas Ms. Mason exudes passion, drive, and care for the students, teachers, staff, and families of District 67. Whereas Ms. Mason has dedicated herself to listening, processing, and reflecting upon varying perspectives of stakeholders when making decisions. Whereas Ms. Mason's ability to make difficult decisions that challenge the status quo for the benefit of the greater good has contributed to the thoughtful District 67 board service. Whereas Ms. Mason has continued a generational commitment to and respect for public education, following in the footsteps of her father, a former school principal. Whereas Ms. Mason has devoted countless hours over the course of several years in service to our Lake Forest school community through active membership on the District 67 Association of Parents and Teachers, and as an executive board member of the Spirit of 67 Foundation. Whereas Ms. Mason's dedication to the work of the Lake Forest Elementary School District's 67 Board of Education is sincerely appreciated. Therefore, be it resolved that the Lake Forest Elementary School District 67 Board of Education expresses for itself, as well as for the parents, guardians, students, staff, faculty, and citizens of Lake Forest, its deepest appreciation and gratitude to Ms. Jennifer Mason for her steadfast work to advance the quality of education, engagement, and inclusion for all students in our community. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be entered permanently into the minutes of the Lake Forest Elementary School District 67 Board of Education. Richard Chun. Whereas Mr. Richard Chun has faithfully served the students, staff, and families of Lake Forest School District 67 as a board member from 2022 to 23. I think you served longer than that. We might have to get that corrected. Whereas Mr. Chun was a dedicated and deeply knowledgeable member of the School District 67 Policy Committee from 2017 to 2023, serving as chair of the Policy Committee from 2021 to 2023. Whereas Mr. Chun has demonstrated a passion for the work of the District 67 Policy Committee through his dedication to the accuracy and reliability of district operating policies and procedures, guiding the board to make changes that would reflect the best interests of students, faculty, and staff and align with District 115 Board of Education policies. Whereas Mr. Chun served as District 67 Board of Education liaison to the Spirit of 67 Foundation, sharing news and celebrating our community through monthly, often entertaining, board reports, promoting Spirit of 67 initiatives, and volunteering at events. Whereas Mr. Chun's dedication to education has been responsible for many successful students and innovations in District 67. Whereas Mr. Chun brings his professional experience as an attorney to his board service, demonstrating honesty, candor, exploring multiple interpretations of issues, and asking insightful questions, thus creating stronger and more lasting outcomes for our school community. Whereas Mr. Chun served as a tireless advocate for the community, guiding fellow board members and the administration to carefully define desired outcomes while considering the community's best interests during decision-making. Whereas Mr. Chun has demonstrated a deep commitment to the success of District 67 Board of Education long before his board service, through his role as a member of the Lake Forest Caucus, serving as the caucus committee treasurer, and managing the school board search committee. Whereas Mr. Chun embodied a deep devotion to District 67 as well as District 115, where he has supported the Lake Forest High School boosters, seeking to promote and support athletic success, spirit, and sportsmanship for every student athlete and every Scouts fan at Lake Forest High School. Whereas Mr. Chun's dedication to the work of the Lake Forest Elementary School District 67 Board of Education is sincerely appreciated. Therefore, be it resolved that the Lake Forest Elementary School District 67 Board of Education expresses for itself, as well as for the parents, guardians, students, staff, faculty, and citizens of Lake Forest, its deepest appreciation and gratitude to Mr. Richard Chun for his steadfast work to advance the quality of education, engagement, and inclusion for all students in our community. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be entered permanently into the minutes of the Lake Forest School District 67 Board of Education. Suzanne Sands. Whereas Ms. Suzanne Sands has faithfully served the community of Lake Forest Elementary School District 67 as a board member from 2015 to 2023. Whereas Ms. Sands served as president of the District 67 Elementary School Board of Education from 2022 to 2023. Whereas Mrs. Sands served as vice president of the District 67 Elementary School Board of Education from 2021 to 2022. Whereas Mrs. Sands was a dedicated and deeply knowledgeable member of the District 67 Education Committee from 2015 to 2023, serving as chair of the Education Committee from 2019 to 2023. Whereas Mrs. Sands, as a former educator herself, demonstrated a heartfelt passion, empathy, connectedness, and support for the work of teachers and staff throughout District 67. Whereas Mrs. Sands was a tireless advocate for the inclusion of students with disabilities in the least restrictive environments, resulting in increased learning, growth, and better outcomes for all District 67 students, and recognition of District 67 as a leader in inclusive practices. Whereas Mrs. Sands served on the joint District 67 and District 115 Board Policy Committee from 2015 to 2019, seeking to thoughtfully align best practices between District 67 and 115. Whereas Mrs. Sands served on the Joint Shared Services Compensation Committee, bringing a disciplined and balanced approach to review of shared services and the compensation structure across the district. Whereas Mrs. Sands served as co-chair of the Joint District and 167 and 115 Ad Hoc Superintendent Search Committee in 2021, playing a key role in the selection process for Lake Forest Elementary School District 67 Superintendent, Dr. Matthew Montgomery. Whereas Mrs. Sands served on the Superintendent Evaluation Committee from 2021 to 2023, resulting in thorough and constructive opportunities for goal setting and contract negotiations. Whereas Mrs. Sands sought continuous improvement as a board member, attending multiple workshops at the Illinois Association of School Boards Joint Annual Conference, and attaining the designation of Master Board Member Level 1. Whereas Mrs. Sands served as a dedicated liaison to True North Cooperative 804 through her role as president of the True North Leadership Council from 2021 to 2023, and playing an integral role in communications, rebranding, and strategic planning. Whereas Mrs. Sands has demonstrated through her involvement in countless parent organizations her long-standing commitment to District 67, serving as president, vice president, and communications coordinator of the Sheridan APT, and vice president of communications and Board of Education liaison for the Spirit of 67. Whereas Mrs. Sands continuously represented the community's best interests with fidelity in all decision-making, utilizing her experience and strong partnership with various community organizations and previous board service, including Kinderhaven Preschool. Whereas Mrs. Sands also embodied a deep devotion to District 115 as president of the Lake Forest High School Foundation from 2020 to 2023. Whereas Mrs. Sands was instrumental in the creation and development of the Lake Forest High School Business Incubator, LFHS Pitch Night, and the distribution of hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants to students, staff, and the district. Whereas Mrs. Sands was a key contributor to the Portrait of the Learner and District 67 strategic plan adopted by District 67 in 2022 and 2023 respectively. Whereas Mrs. Sands demonstrated exceptional communication skills and the utmost integrity in all roles when communicating with district stakeholders. Whereas Mrs. Sands' dedication to the work of the Lake Forest Elementary School District 67 Board of Education will truly be missed. Therefore, be it resolved that the Lake Forest Elementary School District 67 Board of Education expresses for itself, as well as for the parents, guardians, students, staff, faculty, and citizens of Lake Forest, its deepest appreciation and gratitude to Mrs. Suzanne Sands for her steadfast work to advance the quality of education, engagement, and inclusion for all students in our community. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be entered permanently into the minutes of the Lake Forest Elementary School District 67 Board of Education. May I have a motion to adopt the resolutions of the outgoing board members Jennifer Mason, Richard Chun, and Suzanne Sands as read?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Yan?
Aye.
Mr. Remus?
Aye.
Mr. Carrar?
Aye.
Ms. Bernal? Ms. Levert?
Aye.
Ms. Engelberg?
Aye.
Ms. Helms?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I already read my remarks, so I'm just gonna, yeah, please.
I didn't realize how emotional I was going to be about. That's why I kind of waited to the end. To you three, I mean, I feel like I'm just getting to know you. I don't know what I'm going to do without you guys. But individually, Jen, thank you so much for taking the time to step up during our time of need. I know it's not easy. You had a tremendous learning curve and you hit the ground running, so we're forever grateful for that. And on a side note, as a hockey mom, from mom to mom, it was so nice to chat with you and have someone else truly appreciate that side of our schedule as well. So best of luck to you. Rich, my mentor, I don't know what I'm going to do without you. Thank you for your kindness, your patience. You just welcomed me with open arms. I felt like I could ask you anything. Felt like you made me feel like there was never a silly or dumb question. And I'm truly going to miss that, as well as your phenomenal Spirit of 67 reports. Those were fantastic. I don't know how anyone's going to follow that. But I truly, truly appreciate all you've done for me and for our school district. And Suzanne, I don't know where to begin. I feel like, again, just getting to know you. I appreciate the time you took the other day to talk with me. Sorry. For someone that advocates for kids that have challenges, it's hard. And I left that meeting with such hope. Thank you. I'm going to miss you.
Anyone else? Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn the City of Lake Forest School District 67 board meeting for May 2nd, 2023? I'm wondering if maybe one of our new board members wants to make this motion?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a voice vote, please? All in favor, say aye.
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 The fun part. Meeting adjourned.